At the end of the day, it's all about freedom.
The other element on the left that they could be protesting is that there's something shady in there in his taxes that would show some type of dealings with Russia or something, just like some hope that there would be something. So this is why he's not putting that. Which, look, I should say, probably I would assume, okay, I'll go out and I'll grant you this. I would assume that Trump's taxes don't look good for Trump. Obviously, the 1 year that came out did look very good for Trump. But I would assume that most of the more recent ones don't look good for him for some reason. Because the only reason I'm assuming that, it just seems logical, because he hasn't put them out. He could shut people up and put them out. The excuse that he made about being under audit is retarded. And just doesn't make any sense at all. It's only Donald Trump could stick to that so much. It really is amazing. Like, it's like, well, I'm under audit, so I can't just put them out. And you're like, well, the IRS has them already. The ones auditing you already have them. It's a document between you and them, so they have it. It's not anyway. That excuse is retarded. So probably there's something he doesn't want to show, and he feels like it would be politically worse for him to put them out than better. I doubt it's some huge smoking gun. I don't think – the truth is he did put out financials, which you'd get a lot more information from than from these tax returns, so I just don't buy that. The other point, just I guess to tag on, which I do just find kind of outrageous, is that if you're saying Donald Trump didn't pay taxes and that's what's going to come out, that right, like it's embarrassingly low amount of taxes that he paid or something, it's kind of hard to take anyone seriously when we know from 1 year the man paid more taxes than probably any of us will ever pay in our life, right? I mean, if you think the federal government is a good organization, which, I don't know how closely you've listened to this show if you've picked up that we don't, but if you think the federal government is a good organization, well, I mean, I don't know. It really is, somewhat revealing of how people on the left think that you wouldn't appreciate the guy who's put in more than you'll ever put in your fucking stinking life. I mean, I don't know if there's any organization that I like. I mean, okay, well, there's lots of organizations that I like. So let's take one. Like, I like the Ron Paul Institute for Peace and Prosperity. I think that's a great organization, okay? And if I was like, hey, I'm sending them some money and I think you should too, and then I found out someone else sent them like $36 million, I could never imagine being like, but I've been sending them $10,000 every year. Are you paying your fair share? I'd be like, shut up, dummy. He just put in more than you'll ever put in your life. Show some fucking appreciation. But it is this weird thing, and this comes up a lot. It's fairly transparent on the left. This comes up a lot that they do feel like they kind of own your wealth. Like, whatever wealth you have, they feel like you've inherently gotten it from, like, your white privilege or something. So they kind of own a part of it. And if that were to get forcefully taken and redistributed, that would, in their mind, be justice. In our mind, probably the opposite of justice. But in their mind, that would be fucking justice because somehow this is their wealth. But I don't know, man. I mean, just spend some time around anyone who actually runs a business. And the way you start, run, and maintain a successful business is by creating wealth, creating it. It didn't exist before. You create it. And the idea that this is why even the idea of like a progressive income tax is insane. The idea that the more you create, a higher percentage should go in, even though if you paid the same percentage, you'd be putting a lot more in. But anyway, so that's just one more point, but I think is really worth noting that, like, if you're protesting the guy's taxes, we got, just from that 1 year, you found out he put in more than fucking any of us have in that time, right? I mean, maybe not any of us, if I have any other billionaires who are listening.